Have you ever found your dreams strange, confusing, or unlikely? Today you will discover that they make much more sense than they seem. Freud's fundamental work. In 1900, Freud published the book The Interpretation of Dreams, considered by many to be his main work. This book marks the discovery that dreams have meaning and can be interpreted, as long as we understand what lies behind them. This work revolutionized the way science understands the mind, opening space to study what was once seen as mere chance. Freud spent years analyzing his own dreams and those of his patients to reach the conclusions presented in the book. For the first time, dreams began to be treated as important messages from the unconscious and not as simple, meaningless nighttime stories. The book also presents the mechanisms of dream formation, such as censorship, condensation, and displacement, essential tools for deciphering them. This work continues to influence psychologists, therapists, and researchers to this day. The dream as a result of distortion. The dream we remember upon waking is not the real dream. It is an edited and distorted version. This editing explains why dreams seem fragmented, strange, illogical, or full of improbable scenes. This distortion happens because the mind tries to hide contents that could cause us discomfort or internal conflict. During sleep, the unconscious takes the opportunity to express these contents, but it must do so in a disguised way so as not to wake us up. It transforms desires, fears, and memories into symbols and images that, at first glance, seem absurd. It is precisely this mixture of fragments that makes dreams seem so confusing, as if they were scenes from a movie out of order. Understanding this process is the first step to correctly interpreting what each dream is actually trying to communicate. What is really behind the dream? Latent thoughts are fears, desires, anxieties, and fantasies that passed through our mind the day before but were suppressed. These thoughts do not simply disappear. They remain active in deeper layers of the mind. Often, we don't even realize we had these thoughts because internal censorship quickly acts to block what we consider inappropriate. Despite the censorship, the unconscious finds creative ways to bring these contents to the surface during sleep. This is why many dreams have a strong emotional atmosphere even when the scene itself makes no logical sense. The latent thoughts work like the dream's secret script, the source of the disguised storyline we see while we sleep. Illustrating latent thoughts. Remember when you feel anger toward someone and immediately censor a thought? Something you think and quickly say to yourself, "No, that's not right." Thoughts like this get pushed into the mind's reserve bench. This also happens with desires you consider inappropriate, embarrassing, or impossible to admit out loud. These thoughts don't disappear. They simply wait for a moment when conscious censorship weakens, such as during sleep. The dream uses symbols, metaphors, and unreal situations precisely to give disguised form to these repressed contents. Behind an apparently silly or absurd dream, there may be a very real desire, fear, or emotional conflict. Understanding these examples helps us realize that dreams are much deeper than they seem at first glance. How do they enter the dream? These latent thoughts do enter the dream, but in disguise. The dream is the mind's way of expressing these contents without causing conscious disturbance. The unconscious transforms these thoughts into symbolic scenes, strange characters, or seemingly meaningless situations. Freud called this transformation the dream work, a process that masks the true content so that it becomes tolerable. The disguise is so efficient that we often fail to recognize the dream's connection to something experienced the previous day. Even disguised, these contents still carry emotion and meaning that can be identified through interpretation. The stronger the repressed thought, the more creative its appearance in the dream will be. Why do the thoughts need to disguise themselves? Why don't they appear as they are? If we saw these thoughts exactly as they emerged, we would feel so uncomfortable and distressed that we would wake up. These contents are considered unacceptable by our own consciousness, so they need to be camouflaged to avoid emotional shock. The disguise works as a sort of psychological filter that allows the expression of the thought without causing direct suffering. This internal censorship works automatically, even during sleep, protecting our emotional stability. By masking these contents, the dream allows the unconscious to speak safely without interrupting our rest. This mechanism is essential for maintaining balance between what we feel but don't accept and our need to sleep well. The function of the disguise is a protection for our sleep. By distorting and editing these thoughts, the dream allows them to be expressed without disrupting our rest. This protection ensures that intense emotions, such as fear, guilt, or desire, do not cause sudden awakenings. The disguise acts as an internal moderator, transforming heavy contents into lighter, symbolic, and tolerable scenes. Thanks to this mechanism, we can continue sleeping while the mind processes important issues. The disguise is, in a way, a silent dialogue between the unconscious and consciousness, finding balance so as not to overwhelm us. Although it may seem strange, this process is essential for emotional well-being and sleep quality. In the end, every dream is a disguised message from our mind. Understanding this code is the first step to understanding ourselves. If you like this content, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and comment which dream you want me to interpret in the next video. New videos about dreams, symbols, and psychology will be posted every week, so it's worth activating the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Share the video with someone who always tells strange dreams or is curious about the topic. Participation in the comments helps choose future topics and makes the content increasingly personalized. Your mind speaks while you sleep, and I am here to help you understand every word. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next dive into the world of dreams.